You step into the dimly lit bar, the faint hum of chatter mixing with the clink of glasses. The air is thick with the scent of whiskey and the occasional cigar smoke curling from the corner. It's the kind of place where everyone knows each other, where the laughter is familiar and the faces are worn but warm. You've been here before, and you know what to expect. Nothing out of the ordinary. But today, something feels different. The bartender is the first thing you notice. She's behind the counter, moving with a grace that almost makes her look like she's part of the scene. Anna. You've seen her countless times over the years. Soft-spoken, quick with a smile, always polite but never engaging in anything too deep. She seems content, in her own world, doing her job. A woman of few words. But as you glance at her from your seat, you can't shake the feeling that there's more beneath the surface. You're not the only one who notices. In the corner, an older man with a rough exterior and greying hair takes a slow drag from his cigarette. He's leaning in, speaking to a regular. The conversation is low, but you catch fragments, bits about military operations, missions, and strange cryptic phrases like code Dustfall. It's not exactly normal bar talk, but the way it's said makes you feel like you've stumbled into a conversation you weren't meant to hear. You shift your focus back to Anna. There's something in her eyes, something unreadable. You can see that her mind isn't in the present moment. Maybe it's because you've known her long enough to recognize the subtle shifts in her body language. She's listening, watching, waiting. The steady rhythm of her work suddenly feels like it's been interrupted. Her gaze flickers toward the door as it opens with a soft creak. The man who walks in is tall, solidly built. His eyes scan the room with the focus of someone who's used to danger, like he's constantly on alert. And there's something else. The unmistakable posture of someone who's seen war up close. His uniform is civilian now, but the wear and tear on his body and his movements give him away. A Navy SEAL. It's clear from the way he walks, from the disciplined calmness that exudes from him, that he doesn't belong in a place like this. He walks straight to the bar. Anna doesn't seem startled, but her movements freeze for just a moment. The two of them lock eyes for the briefest second, and then, just like that, the man slides onto a bar stool in front of her. You can't help but wonder, what's their connection? She greets him with a slight nod, almost imperceptible, but there's recognition there. They both know more than they're letting on, and that's when it hits you. The feeling that something huge is about to unfold. You don't know how or why, but this quiet moment feels like it's on the edge of something big. You lean in slightly, trying to catch their conversation, but the words are lost in the ambient noise of the bar. You catch Anna's hand moving to adjust her apron. A nervous tick, a sign that she's bracing herself for something she's not sure she's ready to face. You wait. The man shifts in his seat, his eyes still locked on Anna as if measuring her every movement. The bar around them seems to slow down, the clinking of bottles and chatter fading into the background. It's just the two of them now. You can feel the tension in the air, thick and almost suffocating. Anna's expression softens, her lips parting as if she's about to speak, but she hesitates. For a moment it looks like she's calculating something, deciding whether to say what's been unsaid for so long. The man, sensing her hesitation, leans forward. You don't recognize me, do you? His voice is calm, but there's an underlying intensity to it. You can hear the weight of his words, the gravity they carry. Anna's eyes narrow slightly as she studies his face. There's a flicker of recognition, but she doesn't give him the satisfaction of an immediate response. Instead, she continues to pour the drink in front of her. Her hands steady, but her face betraying her thoughts. Been a while, he continues, his voice quieter now. Maybe you've forgotten. Maybe I just didn't look the same back then. Anna's eyes flash with something darker, something more guarded. You haven't changed, she mutters. Her words are soft, almost too soft to be heard, but the tone, the undercurrent of familiarity is unmistakable. She places the drink on the counter, and the man picks it up without breaking eye contact. As he takes a sip, you notice the way his eyes flicker over the room, scanning the patrons with the kind of vigilance only a trained soldier would have. It's clear, he's not just here to reminisce. He's on a mission. You're still doing this? He asks, nodding toward the bar, his gaze flicking to the bottles behind her. Hiding away in a place like this? Anna doesn't answer immediately. Instead, she wipes her hands on a rag, folding it neatly, as if preparing herself for something. It's a gesture that suggests she's been doing this for a long time, avoiding the truth, pushing it down. But it's clear that she can't escape what's coming, and that's when he drops it. "Code Dustfall," he says, his voice firm and resolute. The words hang in the air, heavy and filled with meaning. Anna freezes. Her face betrays no emotion, but there's a subtle shift in her posture. The kind of shift you don't see unless you're looking for it. The words "Code Dustfall" don't seem to be just a passing comment. They carry weight, a history, and Anna knows it. She knows exactly what it means. You can feel the change in the atmosphere. The quiet tension that had been hanging in the air suddenly deepens, like a storm front moving in. It's as if something inside Anna has snapped. Her eyes, which had been calm, now flicker with something fierce, something dangerous. She leans in, her hands braced on the counter. "You shouldn't have said that," she says, her voice low, controlled. It's a warning. Not just to the man, but to everyone in the bar. The SEAL's face doesn't change. He's prepared for this. It's clear that he's been waiting for this reaction, and he's ready to push further. "I think it's time you remembered, Anna," he says softly, leaning closer. "It's time to stop hiding." Anna looks down at the counter, her fingers drumming a slow, deliberate rhythm. The weight of his words lingers, like a shadow stretching over everything. She knows she can't run anymore. Not from him, not from herself, and certainly not from her past. The silence between them is thick, each second stretching longer than the last. You feel as though you've been transported to a place far removed from the simple comforts of the bar. It's as though you're standing on the edge of something much larger, something that's been buried for far too long. Anna's past, his purpose, and the fate of everyone in this room are all bound by that single phrase. And then, without warning, Anna stands up. She walks away from the bar, her footsteps purposeful. The SEAL watches her, but doesn't move. He knows that she's going to speak, but only when she's ready, and you get the feeling that she's been waiting for this moment as much as he has. As she moves, a sense of urgency fills the room. It's not just about them anymore. It's about the history they share, the choices they made, and the secrets they've kept locked away. You lean forward, eager to hear what comes next. The room seems to be holding its breath. The unspoken tension between Anna and the SEAL is palpable. Whatever happens next, you know it's going to change everything. Anna walks toward the back of the bar with measured steps, her eyes fixed on the door leading to the small storage room. Her movements are deliberate, but the tightness in her shoulders betrays a growing storm inside her. For the first time since the man walked in, the silence in the bar feels oppressive. The chatter, the clinking glasses, even the sound of the jukebox, it all seems to fade into the background as you watch her disappear behind the door. The SEAL doesn't follow immediately. Instead, he stays where he is, taking another slow sip from his glass. His eyes never leave the spot where she disappeared, his focus unbroken. You can tell he's seen it all. He's the kind of man who's trained to endure, to wait for the perfect moment. And right now, that moment is drawing closer. You glance around the room. No one else seems to notice the growing tension. The bar is full of regulars, each lost in their own worlds, completely unaware of the life-altering conversation unfolding just beyond their sight. It's as if they're all waiting for something to happen, but none of them know it yet. Suddenly, the door to the storage room creaks open, and Anna steps back into view. She's holding something in her hand, and when she walks back to the bar, it's not just the bartender you see anymore. The calm, unassuming woman who served drinks to strangers is gone. In her place is someone different, someone who's been hiding behind the facade of the bartender for far too long. The object in her hand is a folder, weathered and worn, as if it's seen years of use. She sets it down in front of the SEAL without a word. Her eyes lock with his, and for the first time she seems to be fully aware of the weight of the situation. This is no longer a casual conversation. It's the beginning of something much bigger. The SEAL doesn't reach for the folder immediately. Instead, he looks up at her, his gaze searching. "You've been waiting for this," he says quietly, almost as if speaking to himself. "Haven't you?" Anna doesn't respond. She doesn't need to. Her silence speaks volumes. She knows exactly what he's referring to. The folder isn't just a collection of papers, it's a key to a past neither of them can escape. You feel a chill run down your spine as the seal finally reaches for the folder. He opens it carefully, his fingers brushing over the yellowed pages inside. His expression doesn't change, but you can see the way his brow furrows as he begins to read. Whatever is written in those pages is familiar to him, and the more he reads, the more his posture stiffens. "Code Dustfall," he murmurs again, as if confirming something. "I thought you were done with this." Anna's voice cuts through the tension like a knife. "I never got the chance to be done with it." She's almost whispering, but the words are sharp, each one filled with years of buried pain and regret. The seal closes the folder slowly, his fingers lingering on the edge. He looks up at her, his eyes finally softening. "This isn't just about us anymore, is it?" Anna shakes her head, her eyes briefly darting to the door. It's clear there's more at stake than either of them are willing to admit. No, it never was. You can feel the shift in the room as Anna takes a step back, her hand gripping the counter for support. It's as if she's finally come to terms with something she's been running from for years. And now that the past is on the table, there's no going back. The seal stands up, his movements deliberate and purposeful. He's no longer the casual observer, he's a man on a mission. "Then we deal with it," he says, his voice steady, "together." But Anna doesn't move. She looks at him, the weight of the decision pressing down on her shoulders. "Are you sure you're ready for this? Because once you're in, there's no turning back. We're not just fighting ghosts anymore. We're fighting the people who created them." The seal's gaze hardens. "I've fought wars before, Anna. I've faced the kind of people who hide in the shadows. What's one more battle?" Her eyes narrow, a flicker of something dangerous flashing across her face. "This isn't like anything you've ever faced," she warns. "This is bigger, much bigger." The seal takes a step forward, closing the distance between them. He's calm, but there's an urgency in his voice. "Then tell me what we're up against. What are we really fighting for?" Anna hesitates, her gaze flickering to the folder once more. You can feel her weighing the decision in her mind, deciding whether or not to share everything. Finally, she speaks. "It's not just about us," she says, her voice low and resolute. "Code Dustfall. It's about the people who died because of it. It's about the ones who are still out there hiding in plain sight, and it's about the truth that no one wants to hear." The weight of her words hangs in the air, and for the first time, you understand the gravity of the situation. This is no longer a simple reunion. This is about a secret. Something so dangerous, so powerful, that it could tear apart everything they've worked to protect. And Anna's past, long buried and forgotten, is now about to resurface in a way neither of them could have anticipated. The seal nods, his jaw tightening. "Then let's uncover it," he says, his voice filled with determination. As he steps back, the two of them stand there in silence, the weight of their shared history lingering between them. The door to the outside world is open, and once they walk through it, there will be no turning back. The mission is set, and the past is no longer just a memory. It's the present, and it's demanding to be confronted. The night seems to stretch as the two of them stand there, the quiet intensity between them building like an incoming storm. The room is still, the noise of the bar just a faint hum in the background, as if even the walls themselves are waiting for what comes next. You can feel the weight of their shared history in the air, heavy and suffocating. They've reached a point where there's no turning back. Whatever Anna's past holds, whatever dark secrets Code Dustfall entails, they've both crossed a line from which there's no return. Anna finally breaks the silence. Her voice is steady, but you can tell the words are hard for her to say. "You think you're ready to hear this?" she asks, looking directly at the seal. Her gaze is sharp, but there's something vulnerable in it too, a flicker of uncertainty. "You might wish you hadn't asked." The seal's eyes are hard with resolve, but beneath the surface, you can see the quiet determination that has carried him through countless missions, countless battles. He knows that whatever comes next won't be easy. "Tell me," he says simply. "I'm listening." For a moment, Anna hesitates. She looks down at the folder in front of her, her fingers tracing the edge as if deciding how much to reveal. Her hand lingers there, and you get the sense that this is a pivotal moment, the kind that shifts the course of everything. Then she starts. Slowly at first, but her words begin to build, each one like a stone thrown into a still pond, creating ripples that spread outward. It started years ago, Anna begins, her voice barely above a whisper. Code Dustfall wasn't just a mission. It wasn't just some operation you were briefed on in a Black Ops briefing. She meets his eyes, and you can feel the weight of her words settle in. It was a lie, a betrayal. The SEAL doesn't flinch. His expression remains neutral, but his jaw tightens. It's clear that he's not shocked, not by the words, but by the realization that he's standing at the edge of something much deeper than either of them had ever anticipated. Anna continues. I was in the field, working with a special ops team. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was just a civilian contractor at the time, providing logistical support. But it didn't matter. The mission was already set in motion. Her fingers drum nervously on the counter, the anxiety she's holding back leaking into the rhythm of her movements. We were given an objective, a simple one. Locate a high-value target, neutralize them, and extract. Nothing out of the ordinary, or at least that's what we thought. The SEAL listens intently, not interrupting. Anna's words are carefully measured, each one wrapped in layers of regret and something else, something she's trying hard to suppress. We got to the target zone, she continues. But things didn't go according to plan. The intel we had was wrong. The target wasn't there. But there was something else. A facility, a secret compound, something no one had accounted for. And when we breached it, we found something far worse than we could have imagined. She pauses, her voice faltering for just a second. The facility wasn't a weapons cache. It wasn't a lab. It was a graveyard, a place where they kept the bodies of people who were experimented on. Her eyes are distant now, lost in the memory. The SEAL shifts, a flicker of recognition passing through his eyes. He knows exactly what she's talking about, and for a brief moment the air between them crackles with unspoken understanding. I knew something was off, Anna continues, her voice growing steadier as the words begin to spill out. But I didn't know what I was looking at until it was too late. We were trapped inside that compound. They were watching us. And before we even had a chance to react, we were ambushed. I barely made it out alive. There's a long silence. The room feels colder now, the weight of her words sinking in. The SEAL doesn't speak, but his eyes are hard, his focus unwavering. He's piecing it all together, connecting the dots. Anna lowers her gaze for a moment, then meets his eyes again. Code Dustfall wasn't a mission. It was a cover-up. The people in that compound, they weren't just innocent civilians. They were test subjects, and when they got too close to the truth, they were eliminated. The SEAL exhales slowly, his hand tightening around his glass. And you were part of it, he says, his voice tight with a mix of disbelief and anger. Anna shakes her head. I wasn't supposed to be there. I didn't sign up for this. I was just trying to survive, but I didn't get out of there unscathed. None of us did. The silence between them stretches again, heavier now, as the realization of what Anna's saying sinks in. This wasn't just a mission gone wrong. It was the beginning of something far darker, something that's been buried and hidden for years. I tried to tell them, Anna says softly, the regret clear in her voice. I tried to expose it, but no one wanted to listen. I was just a contractor, a civilian. They brushed me off, covered it up and erased everything. And they did the same to everyone who was involved, everyone except for me. She takes a deep breath, the weight of it all settling in her chest. And now they're coming for me. The SEAL stands up, his movements sharp and decisive. We're not running from this anymore, he says. We're going to finish what we started. Anna looks at him, her expression unreadable. You're in this now. You can't back out. He meets her gaze without flinching. I'm not backing out. Not now. They both know that what they've just uncovered is only the beginning. The truth about Code Dustfall is far bigger than either of them could have imagined. And with it comes a new, terrifying reality. A battle against forces far more dangerous than anything they've faced before. As Anna watches the SEAL prepare for what's to come, there's a flicker of something in her eyes. Maybe it's hope, or maybe it's acceptance. Either way, she knows that once they move forward, there's no turning back. The mission is set, and the future is uncertain. But one thing is clear. They are no longer just fighting for survival. They're fighting for the truth. The door to the bar opens with a sharp squeak, and the cool night air flows in, cutting through the warmth of the dimly lit room. Anna's eyes flicker toward it, but the SEAL doesn't even glance up. His focus is entirely on her, and the gravity of the conversation between them is impossible to ignore. The rest of the bar fades into the background, the regulars now nothing more than shadows in the periphery. "We've got to move fast," the SEAL says, his voice low, but every word is heavy with purpose. "The longer we wait, the more danger we put ourselves in." Anna nods once, her lips tight. She doesn't need convincing. She's been running from this for too long, and she knows better than anyone the kind of people they're up against. People who don't leave loose ends, people who cover up their mistakes with blood and lies. But Anna's not the same person she was when she first walked into this bar, and that's clear in her eyes now. She's ready, and the past that's haunted her is no longer something to fear, it's something to face. "Let's go," she says, and she means it. There's no hesitation in her voice. She turns toward the back door, but the SEAL places a hand on her arm just for a moment, a gesture that could almost be comforting, but it's not. "You know what happens if we fail," he says quietly. She glances up at him, her eyes steely, unwavering. "I know, but we don't fail. Not this time." You can feel the shift in the air as they head for the exit. It's no longer just about them. They've just brought everyone in the bar into something much bigger than themselves. The stakes are now life and death, not just survival. The SEAL's mission wasn't just about locating Anna. It was about stopping the worst kind of operation from continuing. And now, as the weight of their decisions settles over them, Anna's past is beginning to catch up with her. They move through the alleyway behind the bar, their steps quick and silent. The air outside is cool, carrying with it the distant hum of city life, but there's an undercurrent of danger now. Something is about to break loose, and neither of them is ready to back down. The quiet that had settled over them before has been replaced by something much darker, much heavier. Anna leads the way, her pace steady, while the SEAL watches her from behind, his alert eyes scanning the area. Neither of them speaks as they make their way toward the parked car. The engine roars to life as soon as they slip inside, the sound of it filling the silence between them. "You're not going to tell me where we're going?" the SEAL asks, his voice laced with curiosity and a bit of cautious humor. But even as he says it, he already knows the answer. "No," Anna replies flatly, her eyes fixed on the road ahead. She's already made up her mind. "You'll see when we get there, and when we do, you'll understand everything. All of it." The tension in the car thickens as they drive through the quiet streets. The streetlights flicker past in a blur, casting brief, harsh shadows across their faces. Each passing moment seems to stretch, the weight of the unknown bearing down on them. You can feel it, too, their urgency, their determination. They're not just driving to a location, they're heading straight into the heart of a storm that neither of them is fully prepared for. As they drive, Anna's mind races. She's been here before, too many times, and she knows the risks. Every step she takes brings her closer to the truth, closer to the moment when the past will finally be exposed, for better or for worse. She reaches for her phone, tapping out a quick message. It's brief, just a few words, but the weight of those words is immense. She hits send and pockets the phone without a second glance. The die is cast now, and there's no turning back. Her hand tightens on the steering wheel as she accelerates. Finally, they reach the edge of the city. The streets grow emptier, the buildings fewer, until the road narrows and the glow of city lights is replaced by the oppressive darkness of the wilderness. Anna slows the car as they approach a large, nondescript building nestled in the middle of nowhere. It looks abandoned, its windows dark, and the surrounding landscape is empty, except for the scattered, overgrown trees. "This is it," Anna says, her voice steady, but carrying an edge that betrays her nerves. She pulls the car to a stop and puts it in park, glancing once more at the SEAL. "Everything you need to know is inside. All of it. Code Dustfall. The truth about what happened, about who was behind it, and about how deep it goes." The SEAL doesn't respond immediately. His eyes scan the building, his instincts kicking in. He knows they're not alone here. He knows better than anyone that this is the kind of place where no one comes out the same way they go in. But he also knows that this is it, the moment where everything changes. Anna opens the door and steps out. Her movements fluid and determined. The SEAL follows close behind, his body tense, every sense alert. They move together side by side toward the entrance. As they step through the door, the lights flicker on, revealing the stark, sterile interior. It's not a building at all. It's a facility, a high-security, heavily guarded operation, and it's everything Anna warned him about. Rows of metal shelves, sterile tables, and thick concrete walls. There are computers and documents scattered across the tables. Some of them are old, yellowed with age. Others are fresh, active. Anna walks past them without a second glance, heading straight toward a secured door at the far end of the room. The SEAL follows her, knowing this is the moment they've been building toward. The secrets behind the operation, the truth about Code Dustfall are behind that door, and what lies beyond it could either destroy them or set them free. The door to the secured room hums as it unlocks, its thick metal frame swinging open with a creak. The air inside is cool, almost frigid, and the sterile atmosphere is oppressive. It feels like stepping into a place where no secrets are safe, where the past is held in suspension, waiting to be exposed. Anna steps inside first, her eyes immediately scanning the room, taking in every detail. You can see the tightness in her jaw as she moves deeper into the facility. There's no hesitation now. This is her element. This is where it all started, and now it's where it will all end. The SEAL follows closely behind, his movements precise, every muscle tensed, ready for anything. The room is lined with metal filing cabinets, each one marked with a different code. There are computers humming in the corner, their screens displaying rows of encrypted files, too many to count. It's a place where information is king. But Anna's eyes are fixed on one thing. A large, unmarked folder sitting on the far table, bathed in the harsh glow of overhead lights. "You see it?" Anna asks, her voice barely above a whisper. The SEAL doesn't need an answer. He's already noticed it, the way the folder stands out like a beacon in the room, as though it's waiting for them. He moves toward it, his steps measured, purposeful. Anna follows, her gaze never leaving the folder. The weight of everything they've learned is catching up with her now. The man she once was, the life she tried to leave behind, it's all in that folder. All the secrets, the lies, and the truth about Code Dustfall. When the SEAL reaches the table, he picks it up without ceremony. The folder is surprisingly light for its significance, but as he opens it, the files inside seem to whisper their dark secrets. He scans the first few pages, his eyes flicking over the dense text, the names, the dates, and the cold clinical descriptions of experiments and operations that were never supposed to see the light of day. This is all connected, he mutters, his voice a low growl. He looks up at Anna, his gaze sharp, almost accusatory. "These are the people you were talking about, the ones pulling the strings." Anna nods, her face hardening. Yes, they were the ones behind everything. Behind Code Dustfall, behind the experiments. They were the ones who tried to erase us, to bury the truth. But we're not done yet. The SEAL slams the folder shut with a sense of finality. The truth is out, and it's just as dangerous as they thought. But there's more to this story. They know it, and now they have to decide what to do with it. "Do you realize what this means?" the SEAL says, his voice laced with tension. "This isn't just about you or me. This is bigger than us. The people behind this, they're powerful. They've got resources, connections, everything they need to cover this up. If we expose them, we're not just taking down an operation, we're taking down a system." Anna looks at him, her eyes filled with a mixture of determination and regret. "I've known that from the beginning," she says quietly. "But I'm not backing down. I can't. These people have destroyed too many lives. They've manipulated too many people. They've hidden behind lies for far too long." Her voice cracks just slightly, but it's enough for the SEAL to see the weight of her conviction. She's not just fighting for herself anymore. She's fighting for everyone who's been affected by what happened in that compound, for everyone who's been silenced by the ones in power. It's not just about revenge. It's about justice. As Anna turns away from the table, she reaches for the computer in the corner, her fingers moving quickly over the keyboard. She's searching for something, looking for one last piece of evidence. The SEAL watches her, his hand resting on the folder, as if holding it is somehow grounding him, giving him the strength to continue. "You're sure about this?" the SEAL asks, his voice low but laced with an edge of concern. "Once we release this information, there's no going back. We'll be targets. We'll have enemies everywhere. This isn't a simple mission anymore. It's a war." Anna's eyes never leave the screen. "I've been fighting this war for years," she replies, her voice steady. "I just never knew it was going to be this big. But I know we can't let them win. We can't let them bury the truth any longer." The tension in the room is palpable as the computer beeps softly and Anna's screen flickers with new data. She holds up her hand, signaling the SEAL to wait. The screen displays a map, and in the center, a location flashes, a military facility, deep in enemy territory. It's a place that wasn't on any of the records they've seen, a place that's been hidden from the world. "That's where they're hiding the last of the evidence," Anna says, pointing to the map. "It's all there, the final piece of the puzzle." The SEAL studies the map for a moment, his brow furrowed as he processes the information. He's seen intelligence before, but this is different. This isn't just about a mission anymore, it's personal. "If we go there, we're going to need more than just the two of us," he says quietly. "We'll need a team." Anna stands up straight, her expression resolute. "I'll take care of that. I know who to trust." The SEAL nods, but there's still an edge of uncertainty in his eyes. "You're not alone in this," he says softly. "I'm with you, whatever it takes." Anna looks back at the folder, the weight of everything they've uncovered pressing down on her. "This ends now," she mutters under her breath. "We take them down, together." They exchange a brief glance, one that says everything they both feel. There's no turning back now. They're committed to the fight, committed to exposing the truth, no matter what the cost. As they turn to leave the room, ready to face whatever comes next, the door closes behind them, and the oppressive silence of the facility envelops them once again. The storm is coming, but they're no longer running from it. They're walking straight into its heart, ready to confront the darkness they've both carried for so long. And when the dust settles, they'll be the ones left standing, holding the truth for the world to see.